I know what you're thinking. Furpine, you're standing on a guild ship somewhere, not in a PvP match, and you're talking directly to the audience. What's going on? Well, I kind of just wanted to talk about, because I've been doing a lot of it lately, PvP, specifically arena PvP, because that's mostly what I end up doing. Now, if you're new to PvP and endgame and SWTOR, or you, like me, are mildly incompetent, but trying to learn and get better, a couple things. Just wanted to say. One, if you are a DPS, do damage, hit things, have a basic idea of your rotation, know what your defensive cooldowns do, play around with your utilities to find something you like. I used to really like just going on Scoundrel, because this is what I know. Back in the day of utility choices, I would always take both Scramble and Back at Ya, which allowed me to have effectively 20-second evasion that lasted for 3 seconds, that also reflect 150% damage back at people, which was fantastic. Now, it doesn't let me take both of those and get a hell of a lot more survivability out of this, so I take this. That doesn't mean you can't take this. There's a lot of good reasons to take this. But I feel I get more out of this. That's me. Now, if you're a healer, unlike in PVE, you're going to be getting hit a lot. So definitely, again, have a good idea of what your DCDs can do. Defensive cooldowns are very important. And remember to keep moving when you can. Try to stay away from enemies, especially if they're melee. You gotta learn these things. But, like, usually these two things are not a problem. The two issues that I've been seeing a problem with, or at least I have seen a problem with recently, I'm going to start with tanks. If you're a tank in PvP, a lot of the time, sometimes this isn't true, but a lot of the time people are going to ignore you by and large. And your job is to be as annoying as humanly possible. You reduce their damage by taunting them, and while a taunt on a player doesn't force them to attack you, it reduces their damage to everyone else. Also, guarding. The art of guard swapping is an art. That takes a lot of practice to learn how to guard swap, but all I can say for sure is, if you're a tank in PvP, put guard on someone. Start with someone, and ideally keep an eye on who's getting attacked and try to switch to them. Also, stay close to them. You need to be, I think, 15 meters for the guard damage reduction stuff to take effect, other than the 5% default that you get from just having a guard on someone. But that's the thing. Look, even if you're not near them, it still is giving them a 5% damage reduction. Like, seriously, just do it. You'll like, your team won't be happy. You'll have lots of protection numbers. It's a good thing. I had a match recently where I had a tank who didn't do that. They were in, I'm pretty sure, full mitigation gear, which there's arguments either way in PvP. I don't know enough, honestly. I'd say if you're a jug, definitely don't do that, because you can do an absurd amount of damage as a skank tank jug. I don't know for assassin and power tech. I'm not an authority in this. I make no recommendation one way or the other. But just taunt things. Even if the enemy is focusing you, just taunting them will at least reduce their AoE damage on the rest of your team. Seriously, do that. Secondly, make sure you've got gear. I think going into like a war zone, you're probably good anywhere around the default like 320, 324 range, like which you can just get from the vendor on the fleet. I'll go and show you. But while I'm going to show you, just keep in mind, there's no reason to, don't go into PvP. Like any sort of like large group content like that where that's competitive, enemies are going to notice you have low gear and they're going to target you, and it's not going to be a good time. You're going to get blown to smithereens because you have low gear and you're just going to die immediately. And why? One day I'll remember which fleet I'm on. I swear to God. but you'll be targeted, and they're gonna blow you up, and you're not gonna be able to do that much damage. You're gonna have a hard time getting away, and you're gonna be like, well, that sucked. I just got killed and didn't really get to do anything. And yes, exactly. That's why I'm saying make sure to have some gear. But like, look, this gear, each piece costs 10 conquest accommodations, and like, effectively, because of the economy, no credits. Like, I have, but look, I only have this, but that's just because I spent like 2,000 on tech fracks a little bit ago. Conquest accommodations don't take too long to get, and you should be able to pretty quickly and easily have at least a full set of 324 gear. There's really no reason not to, especially if you're doing group content. It takes almost no time at all. Like, one conquest objective, that's 200 conquest accommodations. That's enough for a full set. It's really not hard. You should absolutely at least have around 324 gear. Make sure you also have your tactical. These help a lot. So good. And there's different ones that are better for different things. Some of them, who cares? But like, even something simple like Life Warden is a lot of help. Now, granted, I don't recommend Life Warden under most circumstances, especially if you're a DPS or a healer. You get more out of something that'll do damage. I, for example, in PvP, always take the AoE tactical because it makes point blank shot do additional damage to everyone around the targets within the bushwhack. It spreads my dot buffing ability to everyone within the bushwhack. And also, it doesn't tell you this, and it's going to be getting patched out with 7.3, I believe. But it makes point blank shot double attack your main target, which is kind of silly, but it's been doing that since this tactical came out. So, I don't know what to tell you. It's just a thing that's been happening. But it's going away. Apparently it wasn't intended, despite being in the game for like 3 years now, so details. But seriously, get some basic gear. That's all I'm asking. Please. Like, it's really frustrating. You're in a group, and someone on your team is in like 292 gear rating, which is not even good for last expansion. It's frustrating because you know the enemy's going to target them, they're going to kill them in about 5 or 6 attacks tops, pretty much, unless they're insanely lucky with GCDs or they have a healer and a tank focusing on them. It's not going to go well. Just please get gear. Like, I don't care if you're not very good at PvP. I don't mind losing. It's a thing that happens. Sometimes it can be frustrating, absolutely. But please, just put some gear on. It'll make your life better. It'll make your team less mad. I'm not saying you don't get some people freaking out at you, because you will. But by and large, it's not going to come. And I don't know. I keep seeing it, and I know I have a lot of reach. I've got a whopping 5 subscribers, but I don't know. Please, just try. That's all I'm asking. Just get the basic gear, have a basic idea what you're doing, click buttons. And I know. What do you mean, Verpine? You're some weird loser who clicks half of the time. Yes, I am. I'm bad. But I've been clicking half the time for 11 years now. I do have some basic understanding of this game and how it works. That's, again, basic. Feel free, if you actually have expertise in some of these factors like PvP, to correct me, because I'm dumb. But, anyway. Have a good one. Please, just try your best and have a good time. See you later.